This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Ooh, boy, this is a big package.
That is a nice package. I like that package.
This is it's the changing of the guard. Leader Fan Radio Network.
What do you mean?
And KFAN.com. 1 minute and 55 seconds past the hour of 3 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Welcome back. It is a midweek, that means Wednesday edition of the Bumper to Bumper program on a very crisp, very chilly, although now sunny, at least partly. Weekday afternoon here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Guardsy produces the show. I am the host of the program, former Inkstein Wretch, newspaper of the Twin Cities. My name is Dan Barreiro. We are delighted that you are along for what is kind of a truncated ride today. We've got Minnesota Wild hockey to get to. East Coast, I think we're playing Joyzy tonight, correct?
Yes.
And we also have some Vikings programming to wedge in ahead of that. So that means we're done at 5:30. Once upon a time, this was a 2.5-hour show.
That's what I've heard.
When the Chad Barreiro divorce took place, that's the way it worked, right? Chad was 2 to about 4:47, and I started about 4:50 till 7 o'clock. Well, that's the way it went some of the time. But
it's hard to get everything in 2.5 hours.
It's very true.
You're going to find that out today.
I may well find that out today. I might be begging for us to preempt the Vikings programming and maybe even the first period of Minnesota Wild hockey. We do have, I think, a very eclectic, controversial, and I hope entertaining program for you between now and the aforementioned 5:30 this evening. Bradshaw and Bryan KFAN text line is open at 646-86. This is, of course, opening night for your Minnesota Timberwolves, who will take on the Portland Trailblazers in Portland, Oregon, where once upon a time the big redhead Bill Walton dominated. Long time ago. Johnny Athletic just landed. He will file a live report from Portland, scheduled, I believe, for, is it 4:30 tonight?
You got it.
4:30 this evening. Mase In Your Face in studio at the bottom of this hour. We had to obviously move some schedules around. So Mase, 3:30, and Johnny Athletic at 4:30. Interesting news that Johnny has now confirmed. Who was the original source?
Chris Haynes.
Chris Haynes noted that his sources told him that Donte DiVencenzo will be starting at point guard tonight with Mike Conley still expected to not only participate, but to have a key role with this team coming off the bench. I had not had any inkling that this was even being discussed. There had been so much during training camp of Conley still an important part of this. We talked to Conley. I don't think he may have known a lot already then and not said. I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out from Johnny how long this has been percolating, what this exactly means, and what we should make of this particular news. I'll add this to it that I missed on the project yesterday. Your guy Finchie was on with Paul Allen yesterday. Did you read this quote? I think we will maybe expect him, Anthony Edwards, to play on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we'll try to play him as the lead guard more and more. And I will tell you, I don't love it. First of all, I don't know how much more lead guard Anthony Edwards could play. I mean, he essentially, a lot of the time, did have the ball in his hands. And what's funny about it is what we'd been kind of told through training camp was, well, some of this is trying to get him to move better without the ball, to cut better without the ball, knowing that he may initiate the offense, but the ball's going to be back in his hands as well. All this tells me these two moves, and they may work out, we'll see, even though neither of these players is a point guard as far as I'm concerned, sorry, even in the new and advanced NBA, I don't think either one of them has natural inclination to make teammates better. I don't. In fact, I think you take away from what they do best. But does this not tell us that they're just not going to throw Dillingham in the deep end? They have not seen enough through training camp to say, all right, yeah, from the start of the season, Conley's going to start, and he's going to be the backup guard, and by the end of games, he might end up playing at the end of games more than Conley. This tells me that they don't trust Dillingham yet. I'm not saying they should, but I'm saying this is, to me, these two, that quote and this, can't call it an announcement, but this reporting indicates to me there's just not much belief in him right now. Now, that can change. How can he change it? Play well.
Play well. Play better.
In the stretches that he gets. But Johnny had mentioned in confirming the story that before DiVencenzo was hurt, he played very well in this role. He might be right. I will still tell you just watching and in my own, shall we say, reporting, in talking to people I trust around the league, I don't think that's the greatest natural fit for him. I just don't. I think he's better off, maybe even more than Anthony Edwards, bouncing around, playing off the ball, taking shots, etc. Now, the league, I understand, the purity at the point, you could say Mike Conley represented the last of the pure point guards.
Right.
It's a different era today. We all understand now most of the point guards are scoring point guards. But I still think, I'm just not convinced there's a great sensibility in either case. So we'll see how this goes. And we may be getting too hung up on who starts the game again.
Yeah.
But so if part of the method to it is we are adamant about lessening the number of minutes that Conley plays, this is part of the way, and we're going to stick to that because he is older, and we do want to get the best out of him. And it's hard to keep the minutes as low, perhaps sometimes, as we want. If he starts the game, especially if he's going to finish the game too, right? This may be part of the reason they're going this route. But it's an interesting move and an interesting decision. And we've said all along that this year is about really a series of tweaks, little things that might help them take that last step. There's not going to be anything sizable because there's certainly nothing sizable. You know, last year we had the big trade right before the deadline, or I should say right before training camp. We had the Gobert trade a couple of years before that. Major personnel shifts that were either going to make them better or make them worse. This time around, it's really not that much about the personnel. Nikhil is a nice player, but he's not on the same level as some of these other players that have come and gone. So it's more about shaping, editing, tweaking, perfecting around the edges, is it not? To find out how this team can maintain and then even perhaps take that last step.
We've also heard during training camp that they really want to lean into playing faster, right?
Yes, that's true.
And Donte DiVencenzo would represent that. What's interesting about this to me is I feel like DiVencenzo is a better coming off the bench spark plug six man than Mike Conley is.
I agree.
If you're looking for a change up or a mix up. So I'm curious to see how this looks. I'm curious to see who comes off the bench first in that spot. What are they going to do with Shannon? What are they going to do with Clark? I know they're not point guards, but they're going to have the ball. Shannon certainly will. So
DiVincenzo's a scorer. I'm sorry, and not always a great one. I mean, he was up and down last year.
Up and down for sure.
For sure. I think they got to have. I felt all along a better version of him, a more consistent version than a year ago. And the assumption is, well, Randall eventually kind of found his place, right? And maybe now with the extra year, the chance to relax, been here since the start of training camp, get more out of him as well. But that will be one of the open questions. Now, maybe the plan is for Conley to come in with a would-be scorer at the same time. I don't know where he still can be what he is, but I just view DiVincenzo. And I will say if I'm evaluating him over the course of the entire season last year, he disappointed me a little bit. I thought we would get more out of him than we did. In fact, if you'll recall, to me, he was the key to the trade. And the word on the street was the Wolves weren't going to do it until the Knicks were willing to include DiVincenzo. And I thought we saw stretches of him where I was pleased, and other stretches where I go, a little more. Because one of the raps I had heard out of New York, even from people who liked him there, was he's a little up and down.
Very streaky shooter. He's
very streaky, and he's even his entire approach. So we'll see how that goes. But little intrigue, right, to start the 2025-26 season, because the fact that this is being raised or reported the day of their opener indicates to a certain extent that the Wolves were not all that interested in making much of a production about it, right? Any kind of major announcement about it. But they obviously think there's a reason that led them down this particular road. So we'll see how it goes and what other information we can get from Johnny.
And also, how's Anthony Edwards back? Because he was on the injury report.
Listed as questionable yesterday.
Back spasms.
Has anything changed?
I mean, the report is the report. He was at shoot-around today that was open.
Hope he doesn't call J.J. McCarthy for an opinion.
He was open.
Whether he should play.
The practice part that was open to the media, he was shooting around with Randall, so he was out there this morning. It's not like he had to lay in bed all morning.
Yeah,
but
he's not in traction.
Doesn't seem like it.
As far as we know.
Doesn't seem like it,
but
so we'll hope that he's ready.
Yeah, back spasms. All right.
Fan of 2 men and a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks. It is our national cash contest. First keyword of the afternoon is grand. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword grand. Now's your chance to say thank you to the teacher that made a big difference in your life. With iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, you can nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Is it too late, Garty, for us to implement the triangle offense?
You mean for the Timberwolves?
For the Timberwolves. Is it too late, you think, for us to do? I mean, the season starts tonight.
Well, for tonight's game, yeah,
the most complicated basketball offense ever created, right? That it's Rubik's Cube like. So I'm guessing it would take more than a minute or two to implement it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll see what Johnny says, but we've heard with Anthony the Jordan comparison, not to say he's on his level or Kobe, but the idea was, well, how can he learn from those two players about other ways to score, right? Easier ways to score, so everything's not so complicated. And what I remember, again, is that meant the ball not constantly being in their hands. Now, ultimately, when the shot clock's at 8...
They got it.
They got the ball. We get that. Same should apply to Anthony Edwards. But there were other people who brought the ball up, other people who initiated the offense, and I just still think that's expecting too much of him. I do. I think it's going to make it harder for him, I think, to learn those other things. We'll see. Now, there may be some method to the madness. And again, we all understand that Conley is longer in the tooth. And realistically, that role was going to have to be shared, probably more than ever, because of his age, in terms of how many minutes he's played, etc. But the problem is not necessarily. I'm not trying to just defend Conley. I'm trying to defend what Conley represents. And my point is, well, if not him, then a maybe younger, perhaps a little bit more athletic version of him That's still needed in this thing, I think, don't you? I really do think that's part of the solution here. And in a perfect world, that's what Dillingham represented, right? We at the front end. That was the idea.
Yeah.
He's the guy in waiting who is obviously more athletic. But what, was hard to know was, well, how good is he actually running something, and is he too little? Right? Is he too slight?
Right.
I think there's still that feeling that he's awfully slight.
And that hurts defensively, more than offensively. I'm interested to see how it actually plays out.
Yeah.
Because I am a throwback point guard guy like you are. We still play Ricky Rubio sound bites. There's a reason why we do that.
We'll still never know how good the Wolves might have been if he'd stayed healthy.
20 and
to
20.
This day.
20 and 20 on that Friday night against
we'll never
Kobe.
know. Yeah.
We'll always remember it. It's one of the great what ifs.
You think Kobe did it on purpose?
You think he was afraid?
Think he was
the Mamba?
No, I don't. He probably
no.
They just knocked knees, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't forget,
everything changed after that for Rubio. Everything.
Like Randall's a guy that can bring the ball up. They have guys.
Yeah. They like that.
They're going to be, I think, more unconventional in terms of not having just the throwback point guard. So,
but all of the analytics, did they not set it for key stretches?
We played
better
with him.
on the floor with him. Or I should say the team was better when he was on the floor for whatever the reason.
Their offensive efficiency was way up. I think even their defense was better, which people wouldn't necessarily think. I'm also curious about, because last year the bit with him was he always talked about his first shift. And they would always say, you got to go out there in your first 6-minute shift, because that's what they did, right? They ran him out there for 5 or 6 minutes. And we need more from you in that first shift. So now are they reversing it? Because what are his shifts going to look like, first of all? We don't even know that. But are they saying, when you get out there, you do have to be, you can't ease in. You ease in while watching the first handful of minutes, however you're out. And then when you get out there, go. And then when you're done, you're done. And we're putting you back out here on ice. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Because I like Donte off the bench better myself.
I do too. I always have.
Because I think he's better than most bench players and second teamers and all of that.
It was like having another starter level player off your bench. That's, I think, part of what was the appeal of the deal.
Yes. And now Conley has to be that.
Exactly. And now, again, there's no law. You can throw out some ideas, try some things. Doesn't mean you're going to lose him. Conley is not. He's an adult. He's not going to react that way. So we'll see. I mean, it's a given, is it not? The first wing scorer off the bench. Well, I guess it depends on how you classify. If you classify Naz Reid as a wing scorer or a front court guy, it's going to be Shannon, correct? Shannon is going to have
probably
he's the guy who's going to benefit the most from a minute standpoint with Nickeil being gone. Yeah, it has to be, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, I would think so. He was the guy that got run in the postseason last year when they started to tweak things a little bit, at least in the Oklahoma City series.
You know what? I think I'm reminded did Rambis not try the triangle a little bit?
A little bit. He did it.
And it didn't work for us, did it?
No.
Which, the open joke in basketball was, the triangle's great if you happen to have Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant to run it.
But we have Anthony Edwards now. That's what they're
supposed to be. Yeah.
I mean, he's watching film of those guys. He's trying to be those guys. He's learning post tricks from MJ, who was brilliant last night on NBC. I've watched his clips like 50 times.
Well,
the one with Tirico.
Again, I was asking whether they're going to be able to reveal some of Mike without overexposing him, and I thought they played it perfectly. It wasn't like they covered everything.
No.
And then they mentioned, guess what? Next week, we're going to ask Mike about load management.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way to do it. Just drips and just one or two items every once in a while is definitely the way to do it. I thought that was a very successful opening salvo in making Jordan part of the coverage.
You saw the Ryder Cup free throw thing?
Yes. Do you believe it?
Of course I do.
I mean,
Michael doesn't need to make anything up.
He sold it well. But even Michael probably has to know, this is a dramatic moment. I got to give him something big.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe that Michael Jordan would be nervous about anything, but especially because, let me ask you this. Would we have heard the story if he had missed the free throw?
No, they would have edited it out. Would he still
have told the story?
He may have. No, actually, you're right. He wouldn't have brought it up. He would have gone to someplace else. And good job by Tirico, Because
Yes.
sometimes you can lose yourself in Michael Jordan's eyes.
100%.
Good job asking the obvious follow-up. Did you make the free throw?
Yes, you have
Or did
to.
you swish it? And Jordan, absolutely.
100%. Yeah, it was.
The
that was fun.
hair stood up on the back of my neck when
I
you
fell
said that.
asleep. I didn't make it through the second game.
Me neither.
But I did watch the first game. Highly entertaining. It went on too long.
Yep.
Double OT. Was it a double OT final?
Yes, it was.
But a nice game. Very nice. I mean, that's a really good way. You can't, if you're NBC or any network, you can't, hope and pray for a better opener than that, right?
And the
Two
Lakers,
relevant teams.
Yeah.
Going hammer and tong, neck and neck, down through 2 OTs.
And the Lakers made it interesting at the end of their game against Golden State. They didn't end up winning. Luka was ridiculous.
Here's my problem with Luka already. I think he's already gaining weight. I think
Already?
skinny Luka is already starting to put the pounds in back. Now, I'm not saying he looked like he did a year ago, but he didn't look like he did in all those videos we saw. Unless
Interesting.
those were doctored.
They could have been.
Just wondering.
They could have been,
he
for
was
sure.
massive, right?
He had like 40, a million assists. Buckets and
was
Steph
brilliant.
Curry were both very good.
Well, didn't Buckets go like 15 for 15 from the free throw line or
Sounds
something
right.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about what he said about his bet?
No.
With Curry
No.
for the season? And I don't know what the winner gets, but the bet had to do with which basically Buckets said, by the end of the season, I will finish with a higher free throw percentage than you will. And I think Steph Curry is one of the all-time leaders in that.
Yeah,
in
he's
that
over
department, is he
90%
not?
for his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I don't know what the bet is, but I thought that was kind of interesting.
Good luck to him. Hope
Yeah.
you guys stay healthy.
A lot of other games tonight. Knicks and Cavaliers tonight. That's a nice ball game.
They're loading it
and
up.
Did you hear about the new cat controversy?
No.
There's a new cat controversy, and it's pretty juicy. All right, let's do this. Let's stay on schedule. We've got Johnny with all kinds of NBA speculation and his reaction to the apparent news that Donte DiVencenzo will start at point guard in place of Mike Conley tonight, not due to injury, but by coach's decision. So is this long-term? Is this an experiment? What does he make of it? What are the ramifications regarding the bench, etc.? All of that with Johnny from Portland in about an hour. Mase in your face. You got college football questions. You got pro football questions. Whatever the case may be, hit the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. That's 646-86.
It's time for another edition of Mase in Your Face. Now, along with college football immortality, Glen Mason, here's Dan Barreiro.
Mase is in my face in studio here for the second consecutive week. Welcome back.
And you better be nice because I'm gonna be here.
You're
next
ready,
week
aren't you?
Too.
Oh, next week too?
Hey, you know what? Before you get going, huh? Mace in your face.
Yes.
You guys. I never get anything. I don't get a glass of water from you guys. I got a present for you today.
Do you seriously?
I'm telling you.
Oh, look at this.
Check this out. Hot off the press.
Mace in your face.
You checked that?
It's you with you got like a little microphone deal going. Let's see it.
I
Let me
don't
see
know.
it.
Here.
Let me see it. Let me take a
I
closer
don't know
look
if
at it.
I'm coaching up or whatever, but anyway, I stopped in Loose Line Brewery. You ever been in there?
No.
My good friend Peter Lambert runs the place. It's a great, great place up there in Plymouth. But anyway, hey,
You got
know
the
what?
headset going.
Guards-
So are you supposed to be a coach here or
I'm
a
both.
broadcaster?
I'm
Well,
both.
both, yeah.
Whatever he needs to be.
Well, Guardsy, I'm going to have you look at the drawing.
Yeah, look
Does
at
this
that.
not look like Sid Hartman?
No.
I think it looks a little like Sid.
I was going to say it looks like Jerry Kill on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hey, Guardsy, these are your buddies, the Soda Stick guys.
Soda
Thanks,
Stick,
you know?
Soda Stick, they're
yeah.
great.
They're the best, yeah.
And they did this.
It's
in
nice.
conjunction with, because,
What
Mace
kind of
in your
percentage do
face,
you
I
get?
got that. What do you got trademarked?
You don't
Okay?
have that copyrighted yet. You better.
Yes, I do.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I did. So
Oh, I don't
watch out
remember
what you say.
that.
So in conjunction with them,
Yeah.
they did that.
Yeah.
And, they're all Minnesota. They're one of us, as you would say all the time. But anyway, they did those shirts and hot off the press. And, walking in, I was having the shirt. The guy stopped me and said, "What do you got there, Coach?" I showed him. He goes, "I want that." I said, "Not for sale. I got to give it to my buddies. I want to buy it."
Well, so
So I told him, I looked up and, you gotta, what do you get? You go to sodastick.com.
Yeah.
You can get it there.
So you can buy it there?
Yeah.
What percentage do you get?
None.
Oh,
Zero.
I don't believe you.
No,
I don't
zero.
believe you.
Very charitable. Unlike you.
Charitable.
Zero.
Fact and
Check it
fiction
out.
is what it is.
No. So anyway,
So there's a Mase In Your Face
So
line
there-
at Soda
so-
Stick. That's awesome.
how's that?
I love it.
Really,
So
it's
that
good.
it's officially there. So if people go to that site, they can purchase the shirt.
That's exactly right.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
It's about time.
And it's for a good cause, and they're in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's
And-
pretty good.
You know, whatever. And the thing about it, for all you people out there,
All the naysayers?
if you really want to tick off my good friend Danny Barreiro,
You don't have any glasses on either.
you know, get him in there and wear him at the fair next year. That would be good.
I wouldn't be offended by that at all.
Yeah. So anyway,
Mase In Your Face.
This
They're
is
nice.
this is quite a coordinated effort, Mace. I got to say, I'm going to start calling you Side Deal Glenn. Soda Stick has already tweeted about it.
He's getting something out of it.
Yeah.
I
You
am
know
not.
he is.
Soda
Believe me,
Sticks.
I just
write it down.
Get the official Mase In Your Face shirt. There it is. It's right there.
There
I
it
just
is.
retweeted
Yeah.
it.
I mean, you were like to the last penny when
Yeah.
you were here as coach negotiating for an extra buck here, an extra perk there. You never stopped. So you're getting something out of this.
I am getting nothing.
We need to get you the Best Buy deal so you can get that TV back. That's next. We need to
I
get you
wonder
that
where
TV.
that TV is anyway.
Yeah,
Huh?
I wish there's two
You know,
things.
what really ticked me off about that whole deal?
What's that?
Oh,
When
I shouldn't have brought up the TV.
When I
Sorry.
when I got shown the door.
Yes, I remember it.
Maybe I told you this or not.
Well,
Anyway,
go ahead.
I wanted to keep my cell phone number. Did I tell you this story?
Oh, yeah, I think you did, but go ahead.
I wanted to keep my cell because
Well, it's a university phone. You can't do that.
no, whatever. But
Yeah.
you can take the number and
They wouldn't let you?
Well, initially they said yes, and then one of the people, not Mr. Maturi, but somebody else, came and said we decided not to do it.
Decided not to.
Decided.
Are you not?
So they made it clear they could have.
Unilaterally, they decided.
Oh, that's
They're
small.
not
That's
gonna
very
do it
small.
because they were concerned that if I kept that number, that down the road, if I got something involved in something illegal, it may come back to say that I was using a university phone number. Have you
What
ever
do you think your
heard
name was? Clem
anything-
Haskins?
Anything ridiculous in your
Yeah,
life?
that's insulting.
It was insulting.
Yeah, I don't blame you for being bitter
It was
about that.
insulting.
There's two things somewhere, in the catacombs at the University of Minnesota, somewhere. I don't know if it's Williams Arena, the stadium, whatever, that I'm looking for that I still want. I want to know where your TV went, and I want to know where the Final Four Golden Gopher men's basketball banner is hidden. Those are the two things.
They're probably in the same man
What
cave.
if they're in the same? They might be in the same spot.
You know what I started thinking?
What's that?
I think we talked last week about James Franklin getting
Yes.
fired. And I saw him. He was on, I didn't
Day.
see him when he was on, but I saw the clip. It was in Game Day.
Yeah.
And he was talking about they practice Sundays, and they always have a team meeting at 1:45, and at 1:30 the AD walked in and dismissed him. And I was thinking to myself, how terrible that is. And then I started thinking, at least the guy did it to his face. He didn't call him on the telephone and let him go.
Well, when did that happen?
In your face.
You can figure it out. Don't be. What I'm saying is, I mean, at least the AD
Face to face, you're saying. Yeah.
face to face, like a man,
Yeah.
right there, eyeball. He came in, and what's the guy's name?
Well, here's the question,
what?
though.
What's the AD's name?
I don't know.
Pat something.
Here's the
He's
question.
an Indiana graduate, and you don't know his name?
I don't know his name.
He's an
Is it
Indiana
IU grad?
He's an IU grad.
It was
Okay.
tough to get through
Well,
your gated.
That's what I was going to say.
driveway. Yeah.
If Mother Materia had shown up at your door, you wouldn't have let him in.
Oh, that's not true.
Yeah, you would have. Would you have ushered him into the Churchill room?
Yeah, or at very least he said, "Hey,
Kitchen?
can you?" I mean, I live 10 minutes from there. He could have said, "Can you come down? I need to talk." I could have gotten my car and driven down there.
Well, have you ever raised that with him?
No, no, you
Still-
know, I wasn't talking about me. I was talking
Well, you
about.
brought it up.
I think it was unfair that James Franklin was complaining to the guy.
I see.
Came
When
in.
you're
That's
saying
all.
it could be worse.
It could be
It
worse.
could be, and for you it was. Is what you're
A
saying.
little bit.
Yeah. Well, this is nice. Yeah, it's a nice little deal.
It is. I got one for Guardsy too.
That's perfect. So,
Yeah.
do we have? Are we going to link it, or is that illegal for us to link it via
What do you mean
KFAN.com?
illegal?
I mean, nobody's going there, so just retweet it.
All right, I'll retweet it.
Retweet it. That's the easiest
That
way
won't
to
be
go.
a
Who
problem.
retweets it?
No.
You do?
Dan
Yeah,
will retweet it. I've already
retweeted
retweeted
okay,
it.
I retweeted it. Yeah, we're here to help.
We'll help you with your side hustle. I love
Yeah, I
soda
mean,
sticks.
again,
I don't
still-
have a side hustle. I really don't.
Once it goes,
I don't.
through the roof,
if
you
anybody
will.
thinks that I'm trying to hawk something to make money, I am not. Write it down.
Are you
No.
sure?
I'm positive.
All right.
pretty sure you got some free tacos from that taco place in Fargo that you always bring up. Not yet?
Not yet. No.
Let me ask you something.
That's different.
That's very, very different. Give me the Glen Mason. If Glen Mason published online or wherever a rules of storming the field.
Oh, yeah.
What would be the Mase In Your Face rules or requirement? What rules do you think should fans abide by? What are there, limits to how often and who you beat in terms of the decision to storm the field?
Now, that's a simple question, complicated. First of all, for a long time, even when I was coach, I used to bring it up to Commissioner Jim Delaney.
Yes.
Why in college football we let fans storm the field from a security standpoint? In a different day and age.
Right.
Danger. And it brought up, I don't know if you remember this or not, but Miami of Ohio was playing Marshall. I think it was Marshall. This years and years ago. And Marshall was really good playing at Marshall. And Miami of Ohio, as I remember, won the game. And maybe Marshall won the game. And they went on the field, whatever. And some things were said. Maybe, I don't know if the person was taught to one of the players and maybe touch the player, and the player decked the guy. And it became a major issue. But with all the problems that we have, and all I can tell you is, do you ever see anybody in NFL games, any place, go on the field?
No.
No, you know why? They go on the field, they go to jail. And it's because of security. So I really think in this day and age, there ought to be a rule. Now that, the SEC, they've put these rules in.
Yes.
If you storm the field,
$100 grand or
or whatever it may be. But I know where you're going with this. You want to say because the Gopher faithful stormed the field last week when they beat Nebraska. I think it's great they beat Nebraska. Do I think that warranted storming the field? No. I don't think it was any big deal. And I would really think that where PJ's got this program right now, that the fans and everybody, you win the game, say, well, okay, we beat Nebraska. That ain't any big deal. Now, if they don't have a rule against it, if you beat the number one team in the country, oh, okay, well, that's different. If you win the Big Ten Conference, boom, that's a different story. But to beat Nebraska, I mean, come on.
Well,
they might have been ranked 25th. If they're the 25th best team in the country, I'll eat your hat if you got one.
That was, the other thing which Garzi and I talked about, and I think you brought up too off air, is the point spread for that game too was, you look back on it, it was absurd. Was it 8.5? 9?
8.5 or 7.5. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the fix was in. I don't know what. I'm going to tell you, we're not even getting there yet. I think the point spread this week down against Iowa is ridiculous.
Totally.
8.5 points? And are you I mean, now wait a minute. Now I know Iowa had a big offensive production against Wisconsin.
By their
Wisconsin's
standards,
really a bad football team.
They are.
But typically, year in and week in and week out for a long time now, they're good in the kicking game. They're good on defense. And, man, they leave a lot of desire. And even when you look now, they don't throw the ball very well.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Garzi, don't you think it's time? Mace prides himself on, certainly when he was a coach, doing what? Challenging his players, right? Trying to get the best out of them.
That's his job.
As good as you thought you played last week, you got another level you can go to. I think it's time we challenge you the same way historically we've challenged Louis. In that, you mentioned Wisconsin, and every time you mention Wisconsin, like by association, the first thing that comes in my head is Barry Alvarez. So what you should be doing for this show, for this segment, is every once in a while, maybe once a month, maybe more if you get into it, you help us get a big name from college football like Barry Alvarez to come on the show at the same time you're on.
That's his job in there.
No, that Louis. Louis got us several legends, Scotty Bowman included.
That's his job.
I can barely get Glenn here.
But you're the conduit. Barry Alvarez is not going to come to the phone if we call him.
Well, no, you want me up, use a favor up to make you look good.
No,
this is your show. This ain't my show.
It makes you look great and generous.
This is Mase In Your Face. This is your hour.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
You're selling shirts on our hour.
If you change this show to Bumper and Bumper with Barreiro and Mason,
then you might.
I'll have a guy on every week.
Mase In Your Face.
It's so Mase, isn't it? Honestly, I think you need another shirt for the size of your ego. That would be the other one. Although I don't know if the shirt's big enough. I don't know if they make them big enough at this point. So I'm taking that as a no. I think it'd be. Here's what we're admitting. We don't have your reach.
Well, I know that.
Or your connections.
Everybody knows
that,
though.
So the idea is, the way Louis selflessly said, it'd be good radio to have Louis on together. Who was the Kenny Dryden?
Ken Dryden.
Who just passed away.
Yep.
We had Kenny Dryden. So it's a great conversation.
Doc Emmerich.
And you and Alvarez could go back and forth just ripping the media right in front of me.
Well, let me tell you, it's real simple. You know what? I don't even want Barreiro and Mason. I want Mason and Barreiro, bumper to bumper.
Are you not?
Up in the
Then you'll
ante.
say yes. Yeah. If you're first on the billing, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. Garzi, I don't think this is going the way I hoped it would.
Yeah.
I thought he'd love that.
Well, he said maybe I'll just book Barry myself, and then we'll take a half hour out of Mason's time next week and talk to him.
Well, go ahead. Good luck.
It's unbelievable. Let's get also to, okay, you've given us sort of the Mason manifesto as it pertains to, when to get on the field, when to storm it, and when not to. I agree with you totally on that. But let's talk about the game itself.
Yeah.
I thought, from a Gopher standpoint, it was as thorough and complete a performance in terms of coaching and in terms of execution as I've seen in a long time. What did you make of it?
I thought it was one team that was very well prepared, ready to play, and played well. And I saw another team that was not well prepared, didn't play well, totally outcoached. And I think it was a case like a boxer going in the ring, and he's 100% confident he is going to destroy this guy. And in round one, he gets busted in the nose, and he thought, I'm into a fight. You know what? It's too late then. I mean, you have got to be prepared each and every week. Now, you see sometimes, Dan, that a team that is really, really talented, which Nebraska is not. I think their quarterback grossly overrated.
I do too.
I think I don't know how many stars he had. 92 stars coming out of high school. Yeah. No, I don't. I haven't seen it yet. Not just
but he can pass with his left hand.
Yeah, well, it's great. He can't pass with his right one. No, he's right-handed. So, but my point being, sometimes your team is really talented. They can get in that situation, and they still could overcome that poor performance. Nebraska isn't one of those teams. I would have to venture to say that when you look at him, and I don't know, I'm not really qualified. I'd say probably talent-wise, you could argue that Nebraska and Minnesota are kind of equal. Mm-hmm. This position a little better there, the other position a little bit better here. One was 25th in the country, one's not ranked. Boom, one's ready to play, the other's ready to play. The outcome is 24-6. Now, the reason I say that, could anybody see, because we talked about it last week, see the Gophers rushing for 186 yards? I mean, going into this game each and every week, they've thrown the ball pretty darn well. They can pass protect, boom, but they haven't been able to run the football. And how many sacks do they have? 9?
What was it at the half? Wasn't it like 5 or 6 at the half?
Could have been, yeah.
I don't know.
It was 9 for the game.
They approached double figures.
Does that offensive line coach still have a job? No,
That's the quarterback's uncle.
They were a package deal, and it was a bad deal.
You didn't do enough of those package deals. That was one of your mistakes.
I'd mention, I'm probably bragging a little bit, but I bet there's some years we didn't have 9 sacks
for a season.
Year.
Yeah.
And 9
Well, did you hear what Garzi told me yesterday that Matt Rule admitted during the week after the game?
No.
Matt Rule, and he apparently said, I know this is crazy because we haven't done anything, but we were cocky. We went in complacent to that game. How is that possible when you've accomplished as little as Nebraska has? I don't understand
Well,
that.
that's the problem right there. And I did see where the quarterback said, we thought we were going to put on a show. Yeah, you forgot you had to play a game.
Yeah.
And that's right. I think for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know what they were looking at because when I've seen the bits and pieces of them playing, I haven't been impressed with them.
Up and down.
How about this? I was on Nebraska radio.
Were you?
Oh yeah. These opponents.
They love Mase.
They
week leading up to the game.
Yeah, they call me,
and you
like you want me to, they call me.
Yeah.
They don't get Matt Rule to call me. They call me because they developed a relationship like you guys should have done over the years.
I have no relationship with Barry Alvarez.
With other coaches,
yeah.
Okay?
In fact, I don't think.
You should. He was the coach for a long time.
I don't even think he likes me.
What have you been doing with your job?
It's a long story.
So anyway, but
you
they
don't
call
want to know
you.
the backstory.
I'm 100% having Barry Alvarez on the show next week.
Yeah.
We'll get it done.
Good. And so, to make a long story short, they were talking in this.
Here I was trying to give Mase credit.
They really thought,
an opportunity to say, hey, I can show you how much power I have.
You interrupted me now.
and he takes it the other way and tries to insult me. But go ahead.
But anyway, the radio guys, they were saying how improved, the biggest improvement in their team, they weren't talking about the quarterback, were the offense and defensive lines. And to me, that was where they had no chance.
Humiliated. Yeah. It was the whole thing is for a program that again, well, this is a good example. The Gophers. Gophers are in Iowa this week. Again, I thought that was as complete a game as the Gophers have played in a long time. Terrific performance. But you know how this works. You got to sustain it. And that I'd say that to Nebraska, say it to Minnesota. The proof is, can you build on what that victory seemed to indicate? That maybe you're figuring some stuff out and you're getting better. That's what separates the good teams from the teams that are just up and down, right? You have to follow through and follow up on it.
Yeah, and I think the way that you follow through is that a game like that has to help your attitude. Okay?
It should.
You believe. You really buy in. You think the coaches really know what they're talking about. You and I talk off air about your alma mater, Indiana. The greatest story about Indiana, let me tell you, as great a year as Indiana's having, it's not because they got better players than everybody. Yeah, they got good players, and you might say, well, who's better than that quarterback? But by and large, they don't have the same players that Ohio State has or Alabama or, some of those other people.
The Blue Bloods.
But what Cignetti has done, he's got them playing better as a team. And you've heard me so many times before, because I really believe that football is the greatest team game that has ever been invented. And if you can get a group of guys to play better together as a team than the other group of people that you're playing, even though they have more talent, you can be successful. And I really believe that's where they're at.
Can you help us get Cignetti on next week, too?
I really don't know Kurt Cignetti.
Doesn't matter.
I know his dad, but he's not around anymore.
Your name is supposed to open doors.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm lucky to open the door to get in here.
Look at what we're doing. I mean, we're promoting your shirt. We're not getting
I'm not getting anything out with the shirt.
But I'm not
That's
either.
A good deal.
But we're still doing it out of the goodness of our hearts. Looking for a little generosity from you.
When we write my book, we can promote it on there.
That's fair. Listen to this. This is from Trail Ref Guy. Iowa will win and cover the 8.5. Write that down. We'll see. Maybe they will.
Hey, talk is cheap.
Talk is cheap.
Is he putting a little cash on it, or what's the deal?
I don't know. I think he's from. I'm pretty sure he's from Keokuk, Iowa. Let me tell you this: the psychology of sports, though. Okay. Yes.
Is that when you look at really the performance of both teams, okay, Iowa and Minnesota, as they get ready to play each other and they look at the most previous game, they're not overlooking anything.
No, that's true.
You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. Let's say if the outcome would have been different, Nebraska would have scored 24 and Minnesota would have scored 6. They got sacked 9 to all that stuff. The Hawkeyes might be sitting down there saying, we got this one.
Yeah.
Well, based on that last performance, again, Kirk Ferentz, he's got them in there. They're probably in there early every day watching film.
Guardsy, I'm getting fired up about this game. Can you get Mason and I a couple tickets? You want to drive to Iowa City to see the game Saturday?
Oh, I could get the tickets. I don't need him.
Exactly.
I don't need him.
That's the thing. But
That's for me, though, not for you guys.
That's very generous.
Well, I'll be there.
All right, top of the hour break. Let's break here, and then we'll catch up. We got a lot of texts are coming in. A lot of bitterness.
How's the food in the press box, Guardsy?
Iowa City, very solid.
Is it solid?
Very solid.
I think historically, back in the day, Memorial Stadium, Indiana food was among the worst. I'm talking about
Indiana?
when I was writing. Yeah, back in my newspaper days. It was like cold hot dogs.
When I was Big Ten Network. Okay. My experience in the Big Ten, the worst run operations in the Big Ten, bar none, not even close, were Indiana and Northwestern.
Really?
I'm telling you, they were terrible. Absolutely
So you're saying
terrible.
not just food, you're just saying the whole media operation?
The whole deal. But you know what I used to do to Indiana?
What's that?
You have to outsmart them.
What do you do?
They didn't have anything. But right out the TV box, okay, was the President's Lounge. Well stocked, okay?
Did you just walk in there?
Absolutely.
That's kind of cocky.
I had a tie and jacket on. They thought I was one of those guys.
They thought you were somebody, a muckety muck.
One of those guys.
They thought I was a trustee.
Oh, my God. All right, top of the hour break. More Mase In Your Face when we return.